I mean, I guess we kind of segue now into what's going on in the manga. In general, what do you think about the manga right now? Elbaf right now. Like, what do you think about the story that's going on? Because we're in God Valley, man. We're here.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
I just. It is. Tell me about it. I just absolutely love it. I love it 100%. Because I'm French, I always try to nitpick. Don't say this as me criticizing, but as a fan, I'm like, oh, could we have just a few more pages of these two characters fighting? And it's also me like fights, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
right.
Couldn't you make like these two characters just, like
really add more detail there, please. I'm praying, yeah.
But yeah, it's been a great read for sure. Enjoying every last bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, so when it comes to like, you think the story right now, because you can kind of say that because we're getting the God Valley flashback now, the story could be like maybe reaching its conclusion-ish. Are there any sort of theories that you have for the future of this arc and maybe for the future of the story? Yeah, come on. You have a theory. Come on, you have something. Give me something juicy. I know you have something.
Do you want the rancid agenda?
Yes.
So,
let's get it. I'm done.
I mean, here's the thing.
Absolutely.
There are things I won't be able to go into serious theories I have because I've been spoiled actually twice working on this series. So there are the serious theories I won't be able to go in, but I'm very down to go into rancid agenda theories that have zero chance of coming up, but they're very funny to me, and so I advocate for them, even though I know they're very stupid. But it's like Chopper's fruit. Listen. I know you're going to say it's a copium.
Okay.
I know everyone is going to say I'm Delulu, and I am. But Chopper is my goat. I think there's something with Chopper's fruit. Why did Blackbeard go on his island? I think it's because of his fruit. Let me get close camera once again. So I look crazy. I think there's something with Chopper fruit. Next arc is going to be Chopper's arc. Believe me, bro. Please.
Okay, the human fruit you think has some deep stuff to it, like that's the hope, right? Chopper. Woo.
That's my deep copium. That's my deep.
That's the cope.
Yes.
Do you think Chopper can awaken his powers? You think?
Obviously, bro, he can awaken. No, we're just cooked.
Mythical form Chopper. Mythical form Chopper.
Chopper fan. We're just cooked, man. Like, I don't know what to say. It's like I don't.
Yes, bro.
You're just so cooked,
bro. Because oh man, Chopper was really hype in the pre-time skip, and then Oda just kind of he matters as a doctor. He's there in the background. Yeah, he exists. But remember when Chopper went to Monster Point and then he literally beat the shit out of Kamadari, and he grabbed him like this, and he threw him across an entire island in one eat. Like, where's that Chopper?
No.
Yes.
And then
what happened to scope? What happened to being able to see people's weak? Anyway.
I mean, so here's the thing. So as an animator, let's say you get the chance to work on a Chopper scene in the future. Let's say the scene when Chopper is falling down, he saves Gabon, right? Let's say you get that shot to work on Chopper, okay? You have got to remind Oda, hey, Chopper has these things. So maybe Chopper, when he falls down, he uses, let's say, Brain Point for a second to try and figure out how to land safely. And then from there, you can have, let's say, him coordinate, use his abilities. Because he has Brain Point, he has Horn Point that we see him dig up holes with. We never seen that ever again. He had an Arm Point that I think Oda forgot about entirely. I don't know why. He has all these different forms. So it's if you could, would you try and actually look at this? Would you try and actually have, Chopper be utilized better in that scene? Definitely, right?
I mean, it's the kind of thing where I would say yes, I would try, but the first issue is that Chopper, because of the length of his scene, and it's purely a length issue, because of the length of his scene, there is first a very low chance that I'm given one of his scene.
Right.
And the second issue is that I'm going to do a rough animation where he goes back to one of his original form, and he has a Conqueror HAKI for one reason. And my director is just going to look at me and be like, even if it's you, we cannot do this. Like I'm going to
Whoa,
draw a flashback of him clashing, Conqueror clashing with Blackbeard, and
Hold
my
up,
my colleague.
Vincent. Wait a minute,
to be like,
Vincent. Wait a minute.
you're
Hold
banging
up.
it. My directors are going to be like, no, guy.
Yeah, bro.
Even if it's you, Vincent, you're really banging
We,
it.
we need the chaos.
So,
We need the
Nah,
chaos.
I need him to stick
Bring
to the
it
original
on.
story, not bring in like Blackbeard versus Chopper feats here. Whoa, wait a minute. I don't need that. I don't need that in my timeline. Whoa.
Even if I try to do this, people would not let me do it for very obvious, very obvious reasons.
But like, for example, it's like you could do
Chopper with a sky-splitting feat. He just
It's like, wait a minute. Chopper's not Chopper's not with the sky splitting feet. It's crazy. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is reserved for Yoko. This is reserved for like, King. Chopper? Bro, you give me a heart attack.
I mean, that's my copion, right?
But like,
that's right.
Could you do? But you could do like impact frames or something. Like you have impact frames of like Chopper's original form, something like that. And him being like some Dr. Jekyll, like Mr. Hyde type of thing, and then make it cooler. Give Chopper some, because like the last time Chopper got glazed. Wow. Punk Hazard?
I know. Tell me about it. Tell me about the last time he got glazed. Come on.
Oh man. Oh god, Chopper, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's again. If I had a scene with Chopper, obviously I would do my best to do something that's right by the character. I would do something that fit what I think is true about the character. But at the end of the day, if the fan in me end up, going past what is, what the actual character is,
right,
my director would be like, okay, Vincent, we cannot do this for, again,
it's too much,
reason. And I also think that's why they're not giving me Chopper scene, because they don't want to run into that problem. A lot of people in Japan do not like confrontation, so when they can avoid it, and I think they don't want to have this talk of being like, we love what you do, but Chopper cannot split the sky.
Yeah, he can't split the sky. Yeah. He's not summoning Zeus and Prometheus. It's not happening. We just can't give him stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, no, fair enough. I mean, but to be fair, if you were to do that, I don't think anyone would actually like complain too much in terms of not like sky splitting feats, but if you were to just give Chopper like a little more hype here and there, because I'm not too sure what's left for Chopper in the future. Like the theory is a cool thing about him having the human fruit, but at the same time, it's like Oda's never really had Chopper be that relevant in terms of like fights.
Yeah.
Right, let alone like deep story, So it's like that's why it becomes like if Chopper ever maybe in the future Chopper could get a fight with, let's say, a pirate, a celestial dragon, let's say a holy knight, maybe Doc Q. Yeah. So that could be something that could be interesting, but maybe not, let's say, combat heavy, but let's say more tactical, more like saving a life or killing a life, something that actually taints like their professions. Any other crazy theories you have out there? Any other crazy theories? Not Chopper.
Any other rancid theory? I could
rancid.
Have very some stinky agenda.
Yeah.
Let me think. I think I had another one, but it's not coming back to mind. It's that bad, actually. I think coming back to me right now.
Okay, well, let's roll through some stuff and then let's see if that comes back to you.
Is there like another
Is
one of those
another?
characters that like rarely
Oh wait,
show up?
Recon.
Let's just say like a Foxy or an
Oh,
NL
Foxy. Oh, this guy. Yes.
or
Like,
one of those characters that you
yeah, I think what he's getting at is like, if there's a chance, because you were bringing up a little bit, but like, is there a chance that like you have like a Foxy or NL come back to the story, and then like could you do like a scene with them, maybe a little bit here and there?
If the opportunity is here, I would be absolutely down to draw some One Piece Golden Age character. Definitely, yes.
Absolutely.
that like barely show up.
Yeah. That's the thing, because like
Something I wanted to do is I really want.
Wait, that could show up like in the final arc or something. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, you cut a bit.
Yeah, you were kind of like pretty, like you were going robotic, Recon. But yeah, so like the idea is like, yeah, like doing a scene with like, let's say a character that comes back. So let's say, for example, in the future, right? Let's say you have a scene where Doflamingo comes back. Probably will actually know him. Or let's say my goat, NL. What if NL comes back and like say the final part of the story, and then you can do a scene with him because he's part of the final war somehow, some way. So like, how would you see taking a character that's like an old school character that has not gotten like animation that's been like really happy animation, and how would you like elevate that character, but also like, keeping true to the character and what they were before? Like, how do you see yourself doing something like that?
Very interesting question. I haven't thought about. I mean, I would do my best. That's
Right.
That's how I would go about it. I mean, obviously, like a lot of again research. Like at this point, I have read Skypia so many times, but I would just reread it again. Really look at what constitutes a character. How does he react to stuff? Trying to, I've been taught animation in order to get into Disney, or at least that's what Goblin tried to in my animation school tried to get us to. So I really learned animation, the character approach. So I'm just trying to really understand who is the character. Welcome back, King Rickon.
He's back
Trying to
from the dead.
understand how he feels, what he thinks, what he would do. And then once I have sufficient research and once I, can get into the character. I mean, it's ultimately a bit like acting. You try to understand the character you have to impersonate. And,
like a method acting where like you want to be like that character. What would you want to do? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, honestly. So then, okay, so let's say in the future, because obviously there are big things coming up. LBF's not done yet, but then you have, for example, the scene involving Emu when Emu takes over Guko's body, and then they do the Diamond River Side, like what happened to King Recon before. You get Diamond River Side, and then you have that giant flipping scene. So then you'd probably like. There's a lot of different things that kind of correlate to, let's say, Emu's powers, let's say the abilities of the Abyss, what they could be. Like, how would you work yourself through that scene if you got the chance to work on Emu being inside of Gunko and doing the Diamond River Side?
I'm trying to not get too precise, but I just would look at the theme, what are we talking about? What is this power? What's the literacy around it?
Yeah.
What are symbols that are associated with that? And ultimately, what is the scene about? What do I want the audience to feel? If that makes sense. And then based on this FT research, I would try to make the audience feel what, they would feel if they were there at that time, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I like that.
So, I guess, okay, so now I want to get into, like, you gave me some theories that are a little bit rancid theories. Is that one come back to you? That one rancid one that you have that you forgot?
It did, actually. It did. When you talked about Kaido. My dream is that Kaido comes back at the end for the final war, on the side of Luffy. Like,
really?
maybe like Luffy.
Let's get it.
goes fighting like the big bad boss, and Kaido and maybe Big Mom, like I don't know, throw her in. They come back and like they stop, I don't know, some random, and maybe Zoro says they do kaiju.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know.
Listen. I'm right there with you. I would love for Luffy, like on some Shenron stuff, where he's like riding on top of Kaido, and they're just going up to like the Gorosei or something. I'm like, oh, let's go. Give me that.
Crazy.
Give me it.
Riding Kaido. So it's like a Rocks pirate, but like a new generation Rocks pirate, but you have him on Kaido.
Right.
And they're still there, not fighting on Luffy's team. But then imagine how powerful like the forces of the elders have to be. Like imagine how crazy that's gotta be to happen. Where it's like they have to have weapons, obviously, or whatever destroyed Lucia Kingdom. They have to have like Seraphim are all like, overpowered at this point in time. Do you see the Seraphim actually being stronger than their counterparts? So do you see like S Snake being stronger than Boa Hancock, or S Hawk being stronger than Mihawk, or like do you see that happening or no?
I mean, I have no impute direct knowledge about that, so this is just pure theory on
theory,
my part.
Pure theory.
I think the way they were engineered, they wouldn't be engineered and they wouldn't drop the Seven Warlord if the people who engineered them didn't envision them replacing or being better than the previous one. So I think the goal is to make them as strong, but they have been shown to learn, if that makes sense. And I think that's the most important thing. I don't think they're there yet, but at least I think the goal of the people who made them was for them to be stronger at some point. But again, I think right now they're very akin to Born. They make mistake, they can get jumped on by Frankie just on the bubble. So I don't think they're definitely, I mean, at least that's, again, I don't know, I don't have a chart saying where they're exactly at, but I don't see them right now being as strong as their counterpart.
Okay, yeah. Because a lot of folks kind of debate if that should be the case or not when it comes to Seraphim, because they're kind of new characters, and them being stronger than the counterparts is kind of crazy a little bit, because these are like legacy characters like Boa Hancock and Jinbei and Crocodile, right? So you'd hope that they still be weaker, but at the same time, because they are Lunarians, right? Like they have that DNA, then they should be like just at a baseline. They should be much stronger. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense to where they'd be strong. So like they'll be like end game villains too to deal with. So like if you have a Kaido and Big Mom return, Seraphim could be the fights. yeah, that's possible. Sure.
I mean, could be a possibility. I feel like Oda Sensei is doing this thing. Is it true or not? I don't know. But from someone who was, when I was a kid, tried writing a manga and tried writing a story in general, he's doing that thing where he's adding suddenly a lot of new antagonists. And usually this, in writing in general, is a sign that the heroes are too powerful, if that makes sense. Or it's like, logistically...
Fair.
Right now, if like all the character from one side that we have shown went at it, if we didn't add this new antagonist, it would be, I mean, maybe I'm going too far with saying a wipe, but at least from a writer perspective, it feels like he's doing this to add more enemies to fight. If that makes sense.
Because I mean, the crew has gone a pretty long way. The crew right now, in theory, they should be better than Roger's crew, than Rox's crew, because they're gonna get the One Piece. They're gonna get there right now.
Yeah. Even right now I would be like right now.
Yeah. Right.
I
yeah.
don't
So like,
think I would agree.
In the future, they'll be there for sure.
EOS.
EOS. Right. And the series. So because right now, because we're on Elbaf, and I feel like, with a lot of interest with Shanks. And how, Shanks is like one of those, like, if not the massive pillar of Luffy's life. And when you have this focus on Conqueror's HAKI, like, you can definitely see Luffy getting whatever we saw with Agate Island. So, like Agate Island, the HAKI knot, I theorized that maybe we're going to see something similar with Luffy, where he's going to be able to do like power down some of these immortals in somehow, some way, and then he's going to be able to actually do damage to them, and then that will go, and then that's going to transfer to Emu at some point in the future, where we're going to see in the final, like, because it's happening soon, the finale of the story. So whatever's going to happen soon with Luffy's HAKI growth should be like a major HAKI bloom. And I think what we saw in Egghead Island will be like that. So like, what do you think about that, for example? Like the whole idea of like Luffy getting much, much stronger because the crew's so strong as it is now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm just throwing my theories out there. Yeah, sure. So then, okay, so then there are a few scenes for Egghead Island. Well, actually, no, maybe there's like a few months of Egghead Island left for animation. Do you think you can do more scenes for Egghead Island in the future?
I mean,
and then what do you want to do?
I have my schedule, so I know exactly how
you know
much
exactly what you're gonna do. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would have, went on the record. I think it was with Brago and Sai. I talked about how I would like to make, a end of Evangelion, kaiju fight, having like either giant Luffy fighting giant Saturn, or like just having like this
awesome.
very big.
Yeah, big kaiju. Yeah, exactly.
This kind of fight.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do it, which I'm a bit sad, but it is how it is. Sometimes being an animator is doing stuff that you don't necessarily want to do, and you still have to do it. So you probably will see me once more in Egghead. It probably won't be that big of a scene, especially compared to like the Elder scene. I think it will be more akin to a smaller scene I did, like maybe you could compare it to the Garp Galaxy Punch I did, like not my biggest scene. I will do my best, but you will see me maybe once more in Egghead.
Oh wow, okay. Is that going to be
on a similar line of thought? Is there because you were talking about scenes that sometimes not being able to do the scenes that you want to do, since you've been reading One Piece for a very long time, was there a scene that like you envisioned maybe as a kid, or that you look back on now that you wish you could have animated, like from either pre-time skip or before you got on board? Was there like a scene that you would have loved to have done?
Because if you can't if you can't do a scene that you want to do now, maybe let's say in the future, the One Piece, the remake, or wherever that's going to happen in the future, maybe you get a chance to be a part of that, and then maybe you can do that then, right?
I mean, I cannot say anything about the Wheat One Piece remake. I cannot say anything about that. Like, I don't want to. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Oh, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Okay.
But what were we talking about? Who are you guys? I completely forgot what was the discussion.
My name is King Recon. That's King of Lightning.
If there is,
we were talking about before
here with two sovereignty.
That's right.
Amazing.
Sovereigns, bro. The sovereigns, yes.
But if I had to pick, it would definitely be the Luffy versus Lucci. I would die if we made a remake of either Enies Lobby or Water 7. If I could animate, just human form Lucci versus human form Luffy, or even hybrid form. I don't mind. I would die to do
that scene was incredible. When they're fighting each other, like before the water comes in and they're doing just hands. Because I can notice now, because a lot of choreography, like you actually incorporate that a lot into your work, like the hand-to-hand fight scenes. Is that because of a lot of the because I'm wondering too, because like now I'm starting to understand. Does that come from the work and your love for Naruto? Because Naruto has a lot of that sort of like Sasuke versus Momoshiki and Naruto, or like you have the hand-to-hand fight scene there where like that's a very iconic hand fight scene with good choreography. You're trying to do something like similar to say Naruto versus Sasuke in like I don't know where it would come in. I have like in the future of the story probably when like Oda can let's say commit to like let's say finally like the rare several pages of like focusing on a fight. Like okay, you want to incorporate that into a One Piece scene somehow some way. And then you do a lot of that because like in that scene between Luffy and Rob Lucci, that scene there in base form is a lot of hand-to-hand fighting. Like it's Lucci dodging in certain ways, be able to like grab Luffy's hands, throw him against the wall, like Luffy trying to bite his face off, all kind of stuff. So that am I wrong in saying that? Or like the love for the hand-to-hand fight scenes come from that? Okay.
You're 100% right. Like, you know, like the fight in Naruto were just so good. Like the Kimimaro fight, like a lot of fight in what I really like in the Naruto fight is that everyone has a win con, if that makes sense. Everyone has we're fighting
win condition,
we're fighting this character who's so much stronger than me. How do I fight? Like I'm sure we all think of the Shikamaru, but even the Neji fights, the Gara fights, it's always like you see the character think as fighters, and that's something that I fucking love. It's like, okay, I'm not winning that way, so I have to do something else to win. Because like there is no combats where just the character just do the same fighting over and over again. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not the most compelling stuff. But the Naruto versus Sasuke, you see a project a gradation in their fight. Like they start base form, then they start transforming a bit, then they're in full transformation. And the fight is never the same. It always like the character unlock a new capacity or use a new way of fighting, and it's just adapting to this, adapting to that. And it's kind of like a discussion between the two characters.
Yes.
It is something that I want to do. It is something that I want to do.
It is because what you mentioned there, I think is like very important because you do have like a lot of that sort of idea in very prominent things fights. Where like in a lot of these fights, whether it be let's say based on a sports anime, like a boxing anime, or let's say a Naruto and Sasuke, like they're communicating through the fight itself. It's like you kind of see like in the first Naruto versus Sasuke fight in part 1. Where like you see the difference here, how Sasuke fights with his techniques, and then you have Naruto using the clones, where like he has the clones come out of the water, the clones save him, he throws them around. Sasuke unlocks the Sharingan, third Tomoe, and now he's actually more precise, he's able to actually perceive and more technique. So like also like back in the day when he actually mattered, Rock Lee, when Rock Lee had that sort of explosive hand-to-hand fighting style. And then you have Neji's more delicate, more like gentle. Yeah, like but their fighting style tells their history. Though in One Piece, you don't necessarily get that sort of thing. Yeah, you get more like sort of like distinct clashes, and then from there just do it like whatever you want to do, I suppose, right? But that's why. And okay, listen, I'm gonna push this again. All right, just hear me out. I feel like you'd be really, really great with a Jinbei and a Sanji scene. This is just me, okay? Now, I'm not trying to like push on any Sanji scenes, but I'm probably one of the few Sanji stands you're gonna see in a minute or talk to in a minute. But because they're martial artists, I feel like the way Oda kind of forgot about Chopper stuff, and that irks you a little bit. I mean, actually, a lot of it. Like it hurts your soul. He's also forgotten about a lot of scenes about Sanji too. It's like there's so many techniques that Oda has forgotten about the Strat crew. And it feels like Oda, for whatever reason, whether because the story's too big now or because his paneling is not as it used to be, where he focuses, let's say, on a lot of images in one panel. Like he'll cover so many things in one panel. But I feel like because you just kind of mentioned how you view like a lot of these fights that you animate, a lot of scenes you animate, I feel like martial arts like Jinbei and Sanji would be perfect for you because they're Kenpo practitioners. Yeah, they're like very close to what you see in Naruto. Absolutely, yeah.
More from an animation perspective, I remember when the Senji and from an animation perspective, I love sword fighting. I love actual sword fighting.
Okay.
But from an animation perspective, I'm more drawn to Senji's way of fighting than Zoro's, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, look at the scene. I was, you know what I mean?
Right.
If my boss say, okay, Vincent, you're gonna do this scene, I just yes, sir. Yes,
sir. I mean, because like, if you let's say could do a scene like Sanji when he kicks Venus Juro upcoming, Like, would you, or let's say, if you could add the fight scenes afterwards, like you could incorporate, or let's say in the future when there's a Jinbei fight, like whatever it goes into a Jinbei fight, God knows when, right? But like you would incorporate his fishman karate techniques because he has so many, and then you'd incorporate that understanding of his Kenpo. Or like, you do the same, let's say, with Sanji and his Kenpo. Because you did it with Luffy when he fought against Kizaru, where like Luffy, like when you did your breakdown, you said Luffy can see the future. And so he's kind of like playing, but he's having fun because he's basically a deity. He's a cartoon deity. So he can do all these hand-to-hand fight stuff because he's trained under Garp for so long. And then Ace and Sabo. And you're incorporating a lot of those smooth movements. And then Kizaru's getting faster and faster trying to keep up with Luffy. And so it's like, that stuff is beautiful, but I just don't know if... Well, I mean, I say that, and I don't want to glaze you too much, but the directors also matter, Yeah, like who you have as director.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn, dude. Damn.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Yes.
That's really, really cool. Yeah. So then, when you were doing scenes with ReZero, because I don't watch ReZero, but you were doing all those different things too, right? Like you incorporating various scenes that are like hand-to-hand oriented, hand-to-hand based, because people over there, they liked it a lot. Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about
I was
with
very
Zero?
surprised.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can talk a bit about this. So this is a job I picked up because I have a friend who is working at White Fox Studio, which is the ReZero studio. And he's one of my best friends here in Japan. His name is Amida, and he's absolutely wonderful, wonderful guy. And so that's why I picked that job. What I did for ReZero, because I'm not the most savvy with... I think I watched the first season back when it aired, but it's been quite a bit already. So what I did is just I read the light novel, and I even think there is like at least 2 different versions of the light novel for this fight. But I just read about what were the theme, for who were the characters, and this theme was very much about how Garfield is at the end, at the limit of his perception, and how he basically almost see nothing. Like we blurred a lot of the background to make it like everything is disappearing around him, and he's just at the limit of his perception, dodging stuff, basically just based on instinct. And that's kind of what just reading the novel, reading about the character, and being like, okay, if we were in that brawl as a human being, what would we see? If we were thrown into this fight, what would happen to the camera? And basic.
Yeah, so that's like that whole like perspective thing you mentioned before about how like you wanted to try and get a certain perspective whenever you're animating something. Like that's why you have the whole like and like that scene. I'm not too familiar with, but I do know a bit about that story because I used to watch it too. But like like the idea of, let's say again, like Luffy Kizaru, that scene of like you have a light speed man versus about a night deity. Perspectively speaking, it'd be like a battle of like ancient gods, like you see like Greek mythology, or something like that. It'd be something akin to that. How do you how do you go through like that thought process of really trying to dissect like a character in those ways? Because it feels like you do a lot. Maybe other animators do it too, but at least like you break it down in such a way where it's very detailed. It's almost like an essay where you really go about doing something like that. Like why and how?
I mean, I think it comes... so, when I was in school, general school, I sucked at math. I was trash at everything. The one class I was good at, the two class I was good at were literacy and I was way better at literacy than philosophy, let's be honest. But these were the two I really had an interest in. My poor King Recon.
Yeah.
He's getting shafted.
Hey, listen,
but
it's 1 a.m. People are having a hard time with their connections right now. Go ahead, continue. Yeah.
Yeah, it is how it is. But the way I remember very precisely when I learned to do, text dissertation, like text analysis, like how you break down the subject, how you address it. And it just kind of stayed with me as a way to analyze stuff generally. and it's also how I end up breaking my scenes in animation.
Okay.
I just go like, first we look at the theme, second we question it, and so forth, and
Okay.
and back. Do I even have example here of how I?
Oh, you do.
Basically, it's just me.
Oh, yeah. You keep these things and actually write them down, and actually, so it's like a memory. Oh, okay, okay. Recon's getting Dami Riverside constantly. Like Emu's just like flipping around. He's cooked. He's cooked right now. He's shattered. Yeah.
I mean, basically, you see, it's kind of. Will you be able to see it? It might be too dark, but it's basically like
too dark. But
I'm trying.
Yeah, it might be too dark, but it's just a lot of scribbles.
Yeah, bro, you're cooked. Yeah, you're cooked. You're shattered. Yeah. Okay, so you have like all the work that you're kind of like written down in terms. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's
just, hard to see.
Notes.
Maybe you could send me like a picture on Twitter or something, and then I can just like show the chat. Cool. Yeah. Because it's like actually like a pretty like nice breakdown of like how he does like all because like it's a very unique approach to animation because like, I never thought about like all these even conceive of doing animation in that way. It's like honing the craft of animation to a deeper level than what you see a lot of folks. Well, maybe at least I think it's a deeper level. I think at least.
I would say that's how I was taught animation. So I obviously everyone has their own way to do things, and I don't want like animation should be that way.
Right.
Does animation how they want, but that's the way I was taught to do animation. So I just monkey see, monkey do.
No, I mean it definitely works. Especially when you read through your posts about how you do it, like it, because I think there's a lot of people that are trying to figure out, like what they can do to get into animation and then how they should approach it. Like when I think about how. So one of the animators that I'm actually keeping an eye on nowadays is Sora Kawamitsu. I think Sora Kawamitsu. He's the as far as I understand, he's an animator that was studied under Naotoshi Shida, and then he's learned how to do like his style. So I feel like in the future, like how would you see you doing that? Like how would you like approach a student, and like would you go through that same process of how you learn animation, or do you want to modify that some way?
So here's my thing. I've had a few young animators who have worked with me who sometimes were like, "Oh, I don't mind being the next Vincent Chansard." But here's the truth. I think.
Oh, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot.
I believe. I think being called so and so students, being called so and so's next is kind of a curse as an artist. Like, some people might differ. Some people are like, I don't mind being a person. Some people might be like that. Zero issue with that.
Okay.
But
sure.
For me, I don't want anyone to be forced to live in my shadow, if that makes sense. I want people to be known for who they are, to be known for what they do, and to develop also stuff that they can 100% call their own, if that makes sense. So I'm very careful when I work with artists to get people who don't necessarily, even if they have things that they like in my work, but I try to get people who are still different from what I do as much as possible, because I don't want to burden someone with my name, as simple as it is.
Okay, because it's kind of like
but I can most certainly see you being like 85 years old and having like a long beard and being like Vincent Sensei to
over
someone.
Here,
you know what I'm saying? So like,
yes, Vincent Sensei. Vincent Sensei. Yeah. Because like what is it like imitation is the greatest form of flattery. It's like people are gonna, because they've already inspired by what you do, right? I mean, to I guess avoiding, a lot of dick riders, and then you want people to actually have back and forth with you in terms of you want someone that's different, someone that actually someone that's new that wants to do their own thing, help them through those means. But I think that people are automatically going to be gravitating towards what you do because your work is very, very good. Work is very, very good.
I mean,
and so, you know, that's undeniable.
Inspiration does work that way, and when you start, your inspiration are very easy to see. When you start,
Yeah.
obviously, we're always going to know who you're looking at. It's completely normal. And I don't think, again, I want to there is nothing wrong with adopting someone's style.
Right.
Like we talked about Soraka when, like, understand that in the industry, it's absolutely encouraged to have a consistent style, to always do the same thing, to do maybe the same thing as someone else. It's something that's
That's
genuinely
encouraged.
good for,
Okay.
yeah, it's very good for you as an animator to do that. And that's why
Okay.
I absolutely, is that something that, my colleagues want, go for it. It's a great way to learn. It's a great way to find work consistently. It's a great way to be noticed. So I understand that I have no issue with that. But I personally believe that every artist has the right to be known for what they do specifically, especially in a era, I would say, where uniformization is such a big thing. Like, for example, AI has a tendency of doing it takes a classic work. So I think my belief is that it's very important for artists to be recognized for their own and for what they do uniquely.
I think you're cooking right there, because I think you're cooking because, like, basically, if I'm getting it right, you're saying that, like, you want people to really focus on their own identity as an animator, as a creator. Like, they want to be able to do, and then that identity that they can focus on is gonna help raise them to a new level, help distinguish them in the industry in that kind of way. So yeah, like, you can imitate somebody, but as long as you can have your own identity later on and build your own thing, then that's where it's like, this is my style, this is how I do things, and then for better for worse, this is what I am about. So it's like, you have the animator, the industry person, versus, like, the artist, right? You can argue in some sense, like, your artistic view of things, right? You can argue that's what you're trying to aim at here and find that. Is that fair in saying, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I try to, again, I'm just one artist, sea of many, and I just trying to find stuff that appeal to me, that work with the stories I'm trying to tell. And ultimately, just like you said, it's one artistic journey. And I think it's good for people to engage in that side of artistry. But again, I'm not trying to shaft people who are like, listen, Vincent, I'm just trying to get my work plain and simple,
Right.
get paid. Like, the word is already enough that I don't want to create unhealthy expectation for artists. There is nothing wrong with just, being a technician, doing things right, trying to have the style of the production you want. I don't want me looking for my personal past and trying to encourage the people working for their own personal path. I don't want this to be taken as me imposing a way of life and saying that all artists and all animators should abide by that.
Yeah, I like that, because it's I feel like a lot of it too could be like maybe like cultural related, like the Japanese culture of viewing things versus like more of like the Western approach. Obviously, born in France and so on, how you view things. Like, there's probably like that difference there of like, like going under someone's wing versus being your own identity and trying to build your own thing. I can understand that as well. And then, so like, do you feel like you have, when you work for, let's say, non-Japanese companies, do you feel like you have more of that sort of liberty that you wouldn't necessarily get with a Japanese company?
Really depends. Really depends on the company.
Okay.
Really depends on the project.
Okay. Because I feel like there's like a lot of these.
The West. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, because I'll just because there are certain stereotypes about Japanese company. he's getting Dami reversed like constantly. Yeah, Recon. He's Yeah, he's fighting his own war off stream. Okay, like like a digital war, like Digimon. He's fighting his own battles, and he's losing constantly. It's crazy. But I mean, in terms of animation and actually getting better as an animator and improving as an animator, and also doing your own work as an animator, I feel like Japanese companies, there's certain stigmas about them.
I'm sorry. I'm just glad to be back.
I'm just glad to be back. It's crazy. All I'm trying to say is that there's certain stigmas about Japanese companies about how they run their operations versus what you see in the West or in other countries. I mean, that's all I'm trying to say here. And I want to know like your stance on like if you ever like experienced that difference. But if not, that's fine. Yeah.
So it's very interesting because both have a lot of difference. And indeed, I would say the difference in work condition are very stark. Like, yes, the Japanese animation industry is one of the most difficult animation industry in the world. But at the same time, it's also surprisingly creative. I'm not saying every anime is super creative and ready to make,
but there's a wide variety of content they have. There's a lot you can do.
Absolutely. Where I would say the West is surprising. Again, depend on the studio, depends on the place, depend on so many things. But in general, when I'm thinking of France, that's where I've met the most how would you say conservative people on the animation side. Or like, oh, we are the French touch. Why should we change? We've been doing it for years and change it. And you're like,
okay,
maybe we could try to deviate a bit. No, you don't think. It depends on many things, but surprisingly, the place I struggled the most to get creative ideas out were in place where people were speaking the same language as me, or had the same, the same native. I don't know.
That'd be the reverse, but okay. Okay, that's actually interesting.
I actually had a question. Well, before I got done with reverse it earlier about the artistic journey that you were talking about earlier, because I found it really fascinating. Do you have like a sort of like a one piece you're working towards of like your own treasure, your pirate king that you're trying to attain for yourself, or are you at this moment just like living it day by day? And just and seeing the roles that
Man, they do not want this man to speak. They want to muzzle him.
Every time.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, wow. Every time. He was on a roll there. He was actually on a great question. He was on a roll. He was cooking. He was cooking and then he got cooked. Dude. Yes. Oh, my God. Recon, please. I need you to just say whatever you just said again, because you were cooking and then you got smited like it was a Zeus lightning bolt. You just got smited. Please.
Vegan's diffusion was smoother.
So chat saying just turn off the camera and see if it's better. So you can at least stay. Yeah.
Oh, just turn it off.
Just turn it off. Yeah, and then see how you okay.
So what I was asking, like in regards to the artistic journey, was just like, do you have like an end goal that you have in mind? Like whenever you've retired and you're looking back on it, is there something that you would like your legacy to be remembered as, or something that you're working towards every single day that like that you're trying to attain as an animator, or just like for your own personal artistic journey?
That's a wonderful question, King Recon. I actually was talking about this with colleagues yesterday, and I think what I'm not saying I'm the only one like this, but something I've noticed is that I don't necessarily have a grand goal. Like very down to just, enjoying every scene as they come and being like, I will do better the next scene. I think I got very, I guess, inspired by the approach philosophy, which is you search for the truth your entire life, knowing that you probably will never find it. But even though you probably won't find it, you still search for it. And I'm very much, the same with my approach of animation. Like, probably will never, I mean, at least that's what I was telling myself when I started, but I will probably never be good in it. I would say I'm good. I would say I'm all right. I've always been like, even if I end up random who suck, I just want to try it. I want to understand why does this cut work? Why is this good? Why is this bad? I'm just very, very curious about animation, and I just want until where I can keep this surge of mine, until where I can go, and I go, and that's pretty much it. But I don't have a image of me wanting to attain a specific goal. Even if I die tomorrow and that's it, that's my legacy, I will fun. So if I could do
beautiful.
If I could do a 4 minutes, if I could do a 4-minute scene like Norio Matsumoto, I would be
Hey, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it just sounds like so you really just want maybe not be like the best animator, but like you kind of want to be the best at whatever you do, and then you just want to like keep on perfecting that, and then do like scenes that people are gonna remember for like a very long time, like the rest of their lives, which is like really admirable. Because sometimes people have goals, but then they never get close to their goals, and they kind of like lose their way with like what they're actually good at, like their passions, But it sounds
or what their curiosity is,
right? Exactly.
Like what drives us, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Definitely. No, so that's pretty cool. So then I guess something I want to ask you too is that there is I don't know if it's coming out or not, but there is going to be a sort of like a Naruto, because you're big into Naruto. There's like a Naruto remake that's coming out, and then folks are kind of thinking that there may be like a whole on Naruto full blown remake in the future, like they remake Naruto Part 1 at least. Considering what you do and how you do it, do you think that you would want to try to be a part of that? Like, would you actively try to, considering how much you love animating, and then how the certain things you want to animate, and Naruto influences you a lot, do you think that you want to try to be part of that in the future if they do that?
I mean, if they do that, I will definitely try to. I think it would be so, like, here's the thing, it's so hard to live up what was made. I would be, shaking in my boots, thinking, comparing myself to the great masters that have come before me.
Right.
But I would at least try. Even if I fail, I just to say, oh, I tried doing it. Yes, that's definitely something I would be interested to try. Although I feel like if it did come back, and if the work conditions are good, there would be so many animators who would want to get on it.
Right.
I'm not sure I would be the first priority to secure.
Really? Even at your again, not trying to glaze too much. And like you said that you were all right. Humble words, but I think people would be surprised that you would be one of the top names that people would recognize among, animators that want to come back for, like, whether it be a new project that's like, let's say, fight oriented for, let's say, upcoming manga, or let's say be a remake of an old one. Let's say whether it be already Kenshin. I mean, that's already out, but like, let's say they're going to do Pistol Stars that are coming out back anyway. So whatever's going to come out, it's like the fact that you're not trying to, you would think that you would be like among the top names in like the industry to hit up. Or at least, do you feel like in Japan, there's priorities over you, but like folks like abroad kind of think about your name more often, potentially?
I'm not. I don't know, because I'm not one of the person in charge of recruiting. I know for sure that each time a project is made in Japan, I am made aware of it, and I am almost certainly invited to it. But it's like, even then they invite so many people, you know what I mean? Like, it really depends to whom you're comparing me with. Like, if we're talking about potential new Naruto project, like, what do I do if they call Norio Matsumoto and it goes like, I've got one more in me? What I mean? Like, do you think do you think they're going to be like, okay, we're calling Matsumoto? Do you think that's what's going to happen? I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going to
Okay, that's fair. Damn, that's fair.
I think there's enough legendary scenes in Naruto to where you'd be able to sneak in. You know, at the very least.
That's what I'm saying.
At the very least.
I think for sure. Like, absolutely. Like,
I would try.
I would
try.
Yeah,
I would try.
Are there any other so we know like you have a One Piece schedule. What about a non-One Piece schedule? Like, are you taking a part in some, like, there's next year they're gonna have the Paradox doing Bleach again for the finale of the Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. Are you part of any of that project, or are you like, what other projects do you see yourself work? JJK? Oh no, I'm kidding. No, obviously. But like, are there other projects you see yourself in?
Here's the thing: projects that I'm involved with, or not even that I'm directly in, but people I'm in discussion with, I cannot say anything, you know, about, you know, like, if I'm just talking to the people, being like, can we do a scene here? Can we do? I cannot say anything. So like, pretty much almost every anime you've, I cannot say anything.
Really? You can't say anything? Damn. Okay, fair. Damn, because I really want that scoop. But I really want that scoop. I ain't lying.
Cole Big News Morgans.
Yeah, big news Cole, big news king, big news king. Here's a scoop. So outside of that, so I guess let me see here. In terms of animation, in terms of projects, I mean, I pretty much covered everything I want to really cover. I mean, you've given us a lot of insight, honestly. Like, it's so I guess now I really want to kind of get your take on like the One Piece story, because I really want to know, like, this final saga so far, okay? Because you've read Naruto, you've been to the grind of it, and Naruto had a final saga that was hella controversial. I'll put it like that, obviously. Yes, hella controversial. But right now with the Chiro Oda and the Final Saga, it's like where we are right now, One Piece. Like, how would you gauge Oda's approach to the Final Saga of One Piece versus how Kishimoto approached the Final Saga of Naruto? Big question.
I am fearful. You know, I think every One Piece fan is the same. I don't think I'm going to surprise you with my answer of that. I am very aware of, you know, mangaka who fumble the end of their story. It's something we have seen times and times again. And it's not necessarily, you know, the fault of the author per se. I would say that actually in a lot of time, it's the publisher who end up messing, you know, their mangaka's story. But like, I am aware that it's a possibility. I want to believe in Oda Sensei, and I believe in him. I do believe he can. If someone can do it right, it is him. Just like any fan, I am afraid of the possibility that he doesn't. But even if it doesn't,
right?
Like, let's say tomorrow the One Piece ending comes out and it's not as good as it deserved to be, I will still be like, you know, just because of all the feelings I've had with this series, just because of everything, how invested I was, it will still be, you know, my favorite manga for sure.
Right.
I feel that wholeheartedly.
Do you have any other story that you put up there with One Piece in terms of your favorites, like the ones that have impacted you the most?
That up there with One Piece, like, it's like,
give me like your top 5.
Damn.
Top
5.
I need top 5.
The Kaido panel. You got to give us your Kaido panel.
I've never thought about that. First is definitely One Piece. Second, I would say definitely. Yeah, for sure. Okay. First, One Piece. Second has to be a either almost too easy to put in there. So I would put Hunchback of Notre Dame just because I love the social talk into that one, and Victor Hugo was able to make something. Yes,
that's why I'm not see coming.
After that, could be some of Balzac's work. It could be Balzac's work are very small books, but it's something very much impressed me and influenced me and who I was. Like Adieu by Balzac is just such. It's so short, but it really did shock me so much when I read it. And after that, maybe it's again a very short book. Comparing it to One Piece is so difficult because I'm talking about like very small books, and One Piece is gigantic,
massive.
But maybe Pascal Quignard, Tous les matins du monde is another story that I really loved.
I know that
and after that, sorry, I'm saying a lot of French.
Yeah. Because listen, my Haitian family would be upset at me that I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know.
You got to study.
But go ahead. Go ahead. Somebody knows that. Someone knows. Yeah.
For sure. And the last one would probably be Army of Shadow, which is a movie about the French resistance, and it's just an amazing that I absolutely love.
Yeah. Okay.
With that in mind, I'm very, very curious because of course I'm sure I have my story and Cole has his. But why is it that One Piece means so much to you? I mean, I know it's like a big question, but like why is it that it's connected with you and potentially was one of your major inspirations and influences that has led you to this point?
Like what would be like a key moment that like really got you into the story? Like, okay, I'm here and I'm here for life. Like what? Like
the Chopper flashback.
Let's go, baby. Legendary.
So when I read the Chopper flashback, I was what? Again, I think I was around that age, 14, 13, maybe 13. Like I was very much a kid at that time, and I remember annoying my parents.
Yeah.
You have to read this. They were like,
that.
Come on, children, go move on. But yes, I would say why One Piece means so much to me that I genuinely feel like I grew up as a human being reading One Piece, and the morals of One Piece and the story of it has influenced me so much as a person, so much of what I believe in as roots into Oda's writing. It wouldn't be. Obviously, I have constructed myself through my experience, through other people, through different media, but One Piece has very much deeply moved me and transformed me to an extent that no other series story has.
No other series, man. So then, what would you say about like, not necessarily Western, because obviously you're focused on Eastern entertainment, like Japanese entertainment. What do you think about a story, or do you see any of the stories that are, let's say, upcoming or already passed in Japan that could, let's say, maybe rival One Piece one day, if not have rival at some point in time in your life?
I mean, again, it's difficult because as I said before, the reason why influenced me so much is because I read it as I was constructing myself as a human. So you could even say that no series will be able to move me as easily as One Piece did, because it won't arrive at a point in time where I'm still, constructing myself in the same way. But I do wish for a series to do something like One Piece did in the future. And in the past, again, I don't think I have seen even like the big, and I'm not, this is necessarily better than that. It's just me and my personal,
right. Your personal taste,
opinion. Nothing has come close to One Piece. Like it's really not close, because like you might notice it, but in the 5 stories you asked me, there is only one manga. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed?
Yeah.
So it really means that, you know, the difference between the first and the other one is so big. Like there is really like it's first and by a huge margin.
A huge margin. So no other manga's touching One Piece for you.
For me, for my subjective opinion, no.
Oof. Man. I mean, but because I understand that, and I think we all understand in some ways too, because it feels like when One Piece is over, that's such a gaping void. It's like I don't even know how you feel that. Like, is it possible?
I've been thinking about that so much. I don't know what's gonna happen, dude.
Because if we're in God Valley now, that means it's gonna be happening. Maybe then, let's say we give Oda like a max 10 years maximum. Okay. Outside of that, we have a lot of these newer shonen stories that are coming out, but they're not hitting the same notes as One Piece was so far. And then Shueisha has kind of relied on, I think, One Piece to be like the backbone of like their magazine for a very long time. Yeah, so it's like, for sure. Are we prepared for the finale of One Piece? Yeah, are we prepared?
I mean, it's internal talks, so I shouldn't say much, but they are very much fearing the looming end of One Piece and what it means for the money side of it, because I mean that's what these people are worried about.
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, so, I mean, at that point, even for just personally, because I'm right there with you, guys. I also grew up with it, and it's like, I remember when Naruto ended. It felt like I lost a family member, or a friend, because I'd been with that series for so long, and I feel like I felt the same thing with Bleach, but with One Piece, it's literally going to be like 2/3 of my life I've been with this thing, and and when it ends, it's going to be crazy. So I don't know, man. That's going to be a wild day.
I think a lot of us were reading it. Like, I mean, you were reading when you were like 13. When you read the Chopper backstory, I was reading during Shibuya Archipelago, like in like the mid 2000s. King, when you started Recon, when you started reading One Piece? So we're getting to One Piece.
It was during post Marineford. So like right after all the Marineford stuff was whenever I
so it's like 15 years, 20 years for most of us, or longer. That's like, I mean, that's most of my life. That's most of Vincent's life, most of our life. And it's like, this story has hit so many people. And yeah, you do have, the live action now for One Piece, which is a whole new medium. You do have the remake of the anime of the East Blue Saga. But it's like, when the manga stops, it's like, that's like whoa, like it's over. And I don't know where we go from here as like, not just the community, but like as because this is I think the most selling manga ever, and it is the king. Yeah, I mean that's also, it's a great question too about Vincent brought up, like where does Jump even go? Because the other stories they're not packing the same firepower as One Piece. They're not.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be just like when Dragon Ball ended. They have to find the next.
I think probably worse. I think it's probably worse. For sure, honestly.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because like you have to, again, if we're speaking about the purely money aspect of things, if we're thinking about One Piece as a company, like One Piece is not just a manga, it's also goods, it's also movies, it's also so many things. When all of that money disappear, like
yeah, I mean, and that money's important. I mean, obviously, when it comes to the quality of the product, you need that money. That money is like, that's like the lifeblood of everything. And also, too, like with Shonen Jump, they have more competition now than ever before, because you have competition from Korea and now from China, because now they're coming in with their own stories and their economies, mainly China, massive economies when it comes to their stories. And so it's like, how do you compete with that now that they're coming to the fray? I mean, I think it was already kind of scary when you had a story like To Be Hero X replace One Piece's time slot on television in Japan. And I was like, what? And this is like Chinese show. So it's like, whoa, like what? So it's getting, it's kind of scary.
I mean, I would say it's on this specific subject when it comes to competition with country. It might be very a worker-centered vision, but I actually see this as a very, very good positive, because
Really?
if we workers have different country when we can work for different possible employers, then it's an incentive for our employers, the people who have the money, to pay us more to keep us.
Yes.
So I actually see this competition in a very, I have a very good opinion of what's happening in China and Korea and everywhere.
Because I remember there was actually news that came out a while back that many Japanese animators actually started working for Chinese companies. Because I mean, even on 2 X, it's like it's an Aniplex and Bilibili cooperation partnership. So for sure for your work, you're gonna have a lot of chances here for sure when you can work with, let's say, a Korean company or a Chinese company to do work for them without a damn doubt. But if like there's a good chance that, you know, a story that's gonna come out of China or South Korea, because the great stories obviously, but if One Piece like the apex of all like your stories, I don't even know if it's possible to even hit that in the future. Because when you were 13, it hit your soul. I mean, when I was young, One Piece in my soul too. Like I mean, just when I go back and I think about, you know, like Luffy watching all of his crew disappear in Shibondi, and then Luffy just crying, looking at Kuma not saying a single damn thing, and he gets sent packing. And these are moments that kind of last you for so long. There are folks that grew up when they were kids, and now they have kids, and they're still watching One Piece. Like, how do you beat that? How do you unless you're Superman or Batman, I don't know how you beat that. Like hello? Like, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like One Piece has become like our Star Wars, right? Where like my dad, like that was Star Wars for him, but that's like several different movies in a whole franchise. Like, this is a single series.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, thank God I don't have to be the one to, you know, solve that problem. You know,
right. I'm just here to do great work, bro. Oh man,
that's right.
But I'm sure. I think my opinion is very much, you know, the same as everyone. We all hope for a story like this to be born somewhere. It doesn't need to be Japan. It could be in China. Could be in France. I wouldn't be, you know.
Yeah, you of course you would, absolutely.
But you know, anywhere on the world.
Yeah,
it just take one brilliant mind anywhere on the world.
All right, awesome,
That's
awesome. Oh man, Jesus, wow, One Piece, man. No, we love it. I guess let me see here.
It's alright.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
It's okay. Yeah, it's ever heard One Piece? So now. Oh man. Okay, so I guess let me see here. Well, oh yeah. I want to know. I don't think you have you done work on movies. I think you have, but I forget for what One Piece movies.
For what? Yeah, I very briefly. It's it's also an anecdote. I feel like I've said so many times, but for One Piece Red, Tu Yong-se, he sent me a message like, "Oh, Vincent, don't work on One Piece Red. There is so much time. We have 6 months to do the scenes." I was like, "Oh, God, why not? Sure." And I had 2 weeks, and I was like, whoa.
Oh my goodness!
Who ate the time? Who fucking munched on the time here? So it was interesting question mark. So yeah, I did on One Piece Red, but it was a bit rushed.
Okay, so nothing. Okay, I mean that's fair, because I feel like nowadays, I think they probably want you to do whatever movie's gonna come up. I don't know if you know or not, because there should be this, like every 3 or 4 years we get a movie. Yeah.
I'm not saying I know if this is not a confirmation, but just again, like, don't read into this like this is me trying to film something, but like, just think as a company, you always want a movie in production. Once 100%. The movie is finished, you always want to start on the next one.
Right.
This is not me confirming saying.
No, for sure.
Think about this as a company.
Yeah.
I know. For me, I'd be in the boardroom looking at Demon Slayer's numbers right now and be like, "What are we doing?
Yeah.
We need a movie ASAP. We need a movie production ASAP."
Like, it's getting ridiculous now, because they're doing what movies, and they're I think that last movie was actually the most selling animated movie in abroad ever. It's like, brother, like what?
Right.
Like Film Red actually did really really well across the world.
Yeah.
And I think in Japan it did really well. Like I think it was like the number 7 all-time movie in Japan. But I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like no offense to Demon Slayer, but Demon Slayer ain't One Piece. Like,
Right.
y'all alright. Like y'all alright. You know, yeah, okay. But it's like, damn. It's like, you know. So that's what I was wondering if like there's any. Obviously, can't tell, but would you be down to do like a lot of scenes for a movie? Like obviously, like it will take away from what you do right now for the anime, but you don't have like one scene or so left per se. So would you see yourself, let's say, being like incorporated into a movie, like for like big scenes, let's say 3 or 4 or 5 minutes even? We have like 7 months to work on it, 8 months to work on it, or something like that. Actual months, not weeks. Actual months.
I can't say anything about that.
He pleads the fifth, yo. That's all we need to hear.
Okay. Does it involve buggy? That's all I need to know. Is it a buggy movie? That's all I need to know.
Is it a chopper movie?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I cannot
is it a
say
chopper
anything.
movie?
Like, if I speak, I'm in big
Film
trouble.
Pink.
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
No Buster Calls.
Okay.
But let's say hypothetically, in an imaginary world, if I was working for one moose, I'm working in this imaginary world. I'm working for one moose,
Right.
and let's say at some point, you know, the story in one moose is going a bit slower. Hypothetically, there is a world where we imagine if at the same time, for example, one moose is doing a movie, maybe, possibly, there is a world where I could be working one day, potentially, maybe, on the one moose.
Okay.
Maybe, who knows? I don't know.
Fair enough.
Hey,
That's fair.
We believe in alternate realities around here. You know,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm down for that cause. All right. I'll
No
just Neil deGrasse Tyson know.
knows. No
Alternate
one
dimensions,
knows.
I'm down for it. Okay, yeah. Okay,
right.
perfect. All right. Okay. So I kind of want to go to, because it's been like 2 hours. And so I do want to. There are some fan questions. I don't want to go through, let's say, a lot of them, but there are some fan questions. Some of you guys have to get filtered out. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Like, you guys are weird. I love you guys. But some of you guys are fucking weird. So let me just go through some of the questions that are like, well, obviously things that have to be like okay with you. So let me know if you can't talk about it or not, obviously. And then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go to Insatiable Hunger over here. It says, so he wants to know if you're in touch with Henry Thurlow, another animator for One Piece. Yeah.
I talked to him. I actually, you know what? I need to go out to eat with him. It's been a long time since I last did. But yeah, Henry's a friend.
All right, awesome. All right. Do you think that do you sometimes work with him on certain projects? Like you and him collaborate to do certain works, to like do things like in the anime? Okay. Awesome.
He has asked me. We have worked together quite a few times. It's always, it's like sometimes he's like, "Hey, can you do something?" And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, you didn't work on that. Did you help working with him with the episode that he directed, the one that he did for Kid and Law with versus Big Mom? Did you help with that?
I did a bit. Yes,
Okay.
I did a bit.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's your question. True Seeker, you're weird. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. No loss. Joshua, much love. Hey Vincent, One Punch Man season 3 is coming out. What are your thoughts on it? Christ, bro.
I mean, it's difficult because I have, like all the anime industry talks. Like I talk with animators from other studios, so I have thought about it, but I don't know if you want to. Like
we can go into. I mean, like. Listen, I like One Punch Man a lot. Like, I mean, season 1 it's so good. Season 1 Punch Man is legendary to this day.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. I'm not crazy. Okay, yeah, it's legendary. But
season 1 is so good. It was so good. I really like Murata's and One's writing and drawings.
Yes.
I really do enjoy One Punch Man a lot, which is why season 2.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the same page.
I get
bro.
it. Hey,
Okay, I cannot say anything. I
get it.
calling anyone's word
Mm-hmm.
something. I'm not saying anything, but season 2's.
Do you read
You
the manga, or when we have a chance to read the manga? You do? Okay, so then you know about like the confusion about having Murata go through the latest arc like 3 times over, where he did like the redraws, the first redraws, then did the second redraws, then did the third redraw. It's like, so an arc that started in like 2020, we just finished in 2005, and he redrew the same arc like 4 times. It was brutal. But okay, like, would you ever want to then do Saitama, like, if you could ever get your hands on Saitama versus Garo somehow, some way, like you were in there?
I mean, I would even do something more minor. Like, obviously, if you give me that, I would. Why, yes, please. But I would even do something more.
Bro,
It doesn't even need to be. But it's like there is just because like I think there was like people talking about me and JC stuff earlier this year, and it's like I cannot invoke myself on a project I'm not invited in, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I cannot just Thanos snap and I'm there,
myself.
you know what I mean?
Like, hey, make room for me. Get me in there, Jesus. You guys are ruining the story. Let me take care of it. But then, okay, so what about, does JC staff, do they ever open their doors to like animators like yourself or Henry Thurlow or Chris or like YMBM? Do you guys ever have a chance to even touch anything from One Punch Man, or no? Oh my god, dude.
I mean, I feel like the people who know. The answer is yes, but I cannot say much about it.
Do you have any inside sight on season 3 of Punch Man? Anything that you're allowed to say?
But I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. All right, but basically, you're in the same camp as most fans, because
yes.
Like I feel like One Punch Man season 1 was like one of the seasons where you could just put on like a pedestal. It was like amazing. Like
absolutely.
The risk taking, the directing, everything, the animation, it was godlike. And so just finding out that like JC staff, Jump gave them the rights to do that, and that was their choice. But I bad choice.
I think I'm sorry to
interrupt you. Go ahead.
King of Lighting. I think a lot of people blame JC staff, but I think it's a bit more complex. Sometimes it's not about the animation studio. Sometimes it's about the production committees that are on top of everything and who choose.
Oh,
so fair. I think
the Gordos Day.
JC staff,
the elders,
is just a studio that's trying to survive. You know what I mean? Like again, the Japanese industry is very difficult. JC staff is just a studio with artists who are trying to survive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, gotcha. And it's very difficult right now. And it's another thing I wanted to say on that. Right now, it's very difficult for them. All the pressure coming from, foreigners, but not just what they see as foreigners, but people on social media harassing the staff. It's very, very difficult for them. And I don't want to be mean about some of my colleagues' work. I think everyone has work conditions that push them to make choices.
Right.
And again, everyone is just trying to survive in this industry.
Right. True. Well, like what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Obviously, because like as a fan, as someone that can't really be a part of it in any way, it's just sad seeing that like what's coming, and how phenomenal it is. And I mean, to a point where we even got like we got animated like GIFs in a manga. It's like hello, and then knowing that what's to come may not be even close to what the manga could do is kind of heartbreaking. Especially when it was already like one of the best stories out there in terms of animation. But yeah, what you say makes a lot of sense. Obviously, because we saw it before with Mappa. Mappa, they, like how they push people. Obviously, that. But then I do wonder, how does Netflix work into all this now? Because Netflix is now like a big player in the scene when it comes to like getting production done for certain animated series. Are they like also increasing like the workload exponentially so on a lot of animators and a lot of directors, like Netflix, like these Netflix shows that are coming out? Because they're doing so many Netflix shows right now that are anime shows, and they're clearly tapping into that Japanese market. So like have you been contacted with that? Like what's going on there? If you have any insight on that.
So a bit of context before that.
Okay.
Animes right now make insane benefit. Like the amount of money that varies in anime is insane because it's technically so cheap, creating an anime comparatively to making an Hollywood movie or making even a Disney like
Okay.
in budget it's night and day. It's insane. So the amount of money you create through anime it's genuinely stupid. So that's why you see so many anime being created, because even making an anime that's not very well received can still make you sometime marginally money. So, and that's why there is so many animes being made right now, because right now just the fact of making anime can create money. And as I said before, there are some interesting switcheroos that are being made, favorize some anime rather than others. Like, money is just a game for some people. But again, that's why there are so many animes that are being started by so many platforms, just because it creates money. And so Netflix is just another source of money. I don't have necessarily a very precise opinion on Netflix in the sense that it's just another pocket with money that's creating other animes.
Sure.
You could look at it in a bad light in the sense of there is already not enough animators, the anime industry,
That's the thing.
the shows that are being made.
Yeah.
So you could criticize this. You could say, why continue making more animes when workers are all beyond overworked in this industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have necessarily a very opinion on Netflix. What I've heard is that Netflix has a tendency, contrary to other series, I've heard that they tend to cancel shows. That's something I've heard. Like they would start doing a show and like cancel it.
Yeah. Because there's like a certain budget they have in mind. Then if they can't match a certain budget, or let's say if it's not enough fans, they'll just cut the entire show. I think, well, let's say other studios in Japan, they'll probably just keep it going because there's a certain fan base for us. Like there's certain like small niche fan base, they'll still keep it going anyway. Because you have the product sales anyway. Yeah. So that doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, I just want to know your answer on that one because that's interesting. Yeah. Because they're new, maybe not new, but they're doing a lot more than they have past few years, and they're capitalizing on that market. But what you said makes a lot of sense to how like the return on investment for an anime compared to, let's say, actually paying actors on a physical set and getting them there with actual that's gonna be a lot more money. So it makes a lot more things. I think that one K-pop movie that came out, what's it called? Demon Hunters.
Demon Hunters.
Yeah, that probably made them a lot of money. That K-pop movie probably made them stupid bank. Okay, someone wants to know. Oh my god, do the colors of HAKI mean anything in the anime?
I mean, it depends of the director. Like, I mean, here is a thing that I would say about the colors. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, we do black for the Conqueror, right? And so like here it's Conqueror, right? So I draw black. And then the director, is like, no, actually we're going to use another color. So I'm like,
they just wing it like that? Like literally? It's like,
I mean, I'm exaggerating. I'm obviously exaggerating. But let's say, as long as it's not, like if your question is, can we power scale with the anime, I would say trade carefully.
No, I never do, but like some folks do, and then some folks say, okay, well, because let's say Katakuri's HAKI has like a blue tone, and then Luffy's HAKI has like a reddish tone, that signifies something of importance. Or like when they made the HAKI change to when like when Rayleigh pulled up with that red lightning HAKI, even though initially it was black HAKI, and then Blackbeard has that same red lightning HAKI, but then you go back to Wano Country, and then they had gold HAKI when they had Conqueror's HAKI. It's like, well, like the directors, like, is there no meeting between the directors say, hey, can we just have a standard color of HAKI and just be done with it?
So here's the thing, they do, but as I'm not one of the directors, I don't know if that makes sense. Like it is
a series. These meetings, they're not doing anything. Oh, come on, bro, they're killing me, man.
The way it works is that directors do the storyboard, and then series directors talk Oda Sensei, who have the juice from the goat. They check all the storyboards. And they go like, oh, here we cannot do this. Here we should do this. Here we do that. But I'm not part of this talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
but sometimes they do actually go with Oda to like confirm a thing or two, but it's not all the time. Obviously, it's like I remember hearing like when they. So like real quick, I remember hearing when they. Like leading up to the Whitebeard versus Roger clash in the Odin flashback, there were rumors that were going around at that point in time that they were talking to Ichiro Oda-san about the about that clash and how it should be done.
Definitely. So this is true, but again, this is the series director limit. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say too much, but to limit, obviously, the amount of information people get, the people who directly are in talk to Oda are very little. Very little.
Very little. Okay, so that's small. Okay,
unsurprisingly, that's our series director. I think everyone could guess that. It's not me saying, oh, this is one. Everyone could guess this. So that's.
Because I'm wondering too. Then is there any confusion on the depiction of what Oda draws himself? Like for example, a lot of times in the manga, it's kind of confusing to see if a person's using Conqueror's HAKI or Armored HAKI because the sparks sometimes are different how Oda draws them. Like Gaban, like when Gaban cut what's his name? He put the Sister Dragon guy. What's his name again? Summers, yeah. So when Gaban cut Summers, folks thought that, oh, okay, well, he has Armored HAKI because the way he's cutting through him, the sparks aren't as big or as distinct as like when, let's say, Luffy has HAKI on his fist and that's like a thick black bolt of HAKI. So that's why do the director sometimes get like confused about like, or animators get confused about how, okay, hold on, is that Armored HAKI? Is that Conqueror's HAKI? Because like with, let's say, Blackbeard's bolts against Law, it's like, we don't know if those are, at least in the manga, we have no idea if they're actually Conqueror's HAKI or not. We have no idea. They're just bolts. So it's like, well.
So, very interesting question. I just received a message saying that I have to be careful around this topic. But like, let's imagine, let's take a random series. You know what I mean? Like, let's not talk about One Piece for 1 second.
Okay,
let's talk about, I don't know, My Little Pony's anime. You know what I mean?
I love it. Let's go.
And you have the mangaka of My Little Pony, right?
Okay.
So, like, what's going to happen is that probably the series director of My Little Pony is probably going to consult either is something that the series director of My Little Pony get.
Okay.
The series director of My Little Pony is probably going to get a call with the My Little Pony mangaka. Probably. Okay. That's probably what's going to happen. Sometimes it happens that it could happen that the My Little Pony anime sometimes might get things wrong. It could happen. It's something that, but if the My Little Pony series got things wrong, they would know instantly, because the mangaka of My Little Pony would instantly call them. And so far, I mean, in this potential world,
my Little Pony, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the My Little Pony on the My Little Pony Spark glitter power.
Yeah.
I don't think the mangaka of My Little have said anything to the My Little Pony anime.
Okay.
In this world, like
in this
world,
I'm not part. My Little Pony glitter
world.
power. Yes. Yep.
I'm not part of the My Little Pony anime.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah. Listen,
100%.
we understand. Hey, it makes a lot of sense. We don't want the elders coming in hot. No Buster Calls.
Right.
We understand. Perfect. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
No summonings.
No summonings. Exactly. Okay. So, so we're gonna tread lightly. Then we're gonna tread lightly. All right. Hold on. So real quick, Reggie wants to know what was Vincent's reactions to Sandworm Howls. What is Sandworm Howls? You know what that is?
Is he talking to the sandworm?
I don't know. I thought maybe that's something you knew. Okay.
Sandworm Howls?
Sandworm Howls, like a wolf howling. Sandworm Howls.
Does it mean the sound design?
Oh, yes, he does. Okay, I think he means the sound like that Jupiter makes whenever he opens his mouth in the anime. That like that's
well,
that sound effect.
We had to talk about the sound design.
We did.
To previous statement that has been made.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we know what Tao Pai Pai has done. We are aware of this. Okay.
Right.
Shots at Tao Pai Pai.
Allegedly,
yes. Okay. Also, Vincent. So Reggie again. Vincent mentioned earlier One Piece was lacking with scenes. Would he like to redo or add on? And could he like to animate a Germa comeback? Okay, interesting.
Germa
6. Yeah.
I mean,
Power Rangers.
Personally, if I could, yes, can go for it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just saying the Power Rangers. But go ahead.
I mean, listen.
I'm
getting listen. It's 2 a.m., so I'm getting some weird questions right now. I'm getting some weird people up right now. I'm getting weird people with weird questions. Okay, so I'm just shots to Reggie. Though. Reggie, I appreciate you. All right, okay. But let me move on then. Let me see here. He says also he'd kill to see you do a 2-minute anime scene between Sanji and Kizaru. I would too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would too. I'd kill for that. That'd be awesome. Or Jupiter, Ethan Venus Juro, but hey.